All right, guys, what is going on? I'm continuing my adventure for wild food, and I decided to go along a route on the Serpent Spine that I've never been on before to look for wild black raspberries. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a weird intuitive gut feeling about going this direction. Almost like I shouldn't be. Sometimes you gotta listen to your gut, guys. I've been meaning to travel this route for a long time, but you never know. There might be something up here that threatens my life today. You just gotta learn to listen to your gut. So I'm not gonna push my luck. I'm gonna go a little bit further. And my fucking boots, I don't know how, but both of the laces snapped today. So until I get new laces, I'm kind of stuck with my berry hunting because I can only go so far into the foliage, right? So this is all overgrown, all of it. So there's the train track right there. These trees have fallen, and it looks like no one's out here maintaining the train track on this side of the Serpent Spine. So until I can get my boots, until I can get some form of better protection than what I have on me right now, I'm going to stop today's journey and continue it along the familiar side or route of the Serpent Spine. However, guys, and you know what's funny is that there's no way in hell I'm gonna go through all of this in my sandals, right? Because it's very overgrown. But I had a gut feeling about staying away from this route before I even saw any of this, before I even decided to come out here. So the gut is never wrong. But look at these trees that have fallen. But right at this point where I decided to not do this or continue my journey, there is a ton of black raspberries. This is a honey hole. Look at this, guys. They're everywhere. So I'm gonna stop. I've got a bag that I'm gonna fill up. I've got some organic tobacco mixed with some organic mugwort that I grew. I might spark that up and stay here for about 20 minutes. And I am going to ensure that I fill this bag up with all these black raspberries. So let's get going. There is some real weird fucking energy that way. I'm gonna come back at a later point and see if it persists, but it is like I walked into a wall of negativity. So I don't know if some real bad shit has taken place down there and there's like a energetic memory replay of it, or I really don't know, guys. But we're gonna come back here and investigate. I picked a large handful, about 2 handfuls, of very ripe, beautiful, large black raspberries. So the search is not over. I am gonna go to another spot where I think there is a large batch of berries that are ready to be picked. So there's the creek, all these big rocks. Like the other side of the Serpent Spine, this railroad is all like taken care of. So there's people out there taking care of it or keeping it from being overgrown, although I've never seen anybody out there, but they must be maintaining it. But this side, where those trees fell, it is just nothing but overgrowth. So we'll go back out there at a later point. So, all right, guys. People must be out there, are here from time to time, because I see beer cans. There was one just on the ground. But look at the lush green color, guys. It's gorgeous. So I've got a ways to go until I get back to where I need to cross on to the other part of the railroad. But we will continue our adventure momentarily. All right, guys, that's more like it. I'm familiar with this area. The weird energy is gone. You guys ever been in a situation like that where you just, in your gut, you know something's wrong or off? So I collected a good amount of berries and I got the fuck out of there. So I'm gonna investigate further at a different date and see what's going on there. But I need to be well more prepared. Right now, I've got this DJI bag loaded with some goodies, this shoulder bag. But I'm gonna bring a backpack and my shoulder bag and some other stuff when I go investigate that other part of the Serpent Spine. You know, that could have been like my spirit guides on my shoulder saying, get the fuck out of there. I even felt really uncomfortable when I was collecting these berries, you guys, but I couldn't let them go to waste. But I tell you what, this area here in Virginia, you can hear cars off in the distance, but this is a really remote area, you guys. The majority of the traffic that you hear are coal semis taking coal from a coal mine miles from here. And you hear them going back and forth between the mine and the treatment facility where they purify the coal. So that's the majority of the traffic out here. This entire county houses less than 5,000 people. Where I grew up in California and lived most of my life, that county has over 1.157 million people. So it's very remote in comparison to where I grew up. And I run barefoot through here all the time. And I've been barefoot running alone between, you know, 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. lately. And I'm gonna stop doing that for a while because I've had some really weird experiences lately running through the mountains. There's no cell phone reception through here. So if something were to happen, I'm kind of fucked. But the Virginia mountains are steeped in lore of strange beasts, paranormal activity, strange people. And the last barefoot run that I went on, it was 2 a.m. in the morning. Some really weird shit happened that made me highly uncomfortable. And I fucking booked it. And I was already pretty fucking gassed. I had been running for a long time. But I tell you what, guys, when you feel like your life is threatened, your adrenaline spikes, you'd be surprised what you can do, even if you're exhausted, when you feel like your life is, you know, at risk. So, you know, I run often. I think running is one of the greatest ways to get your entire body in shape. And being in running shape, you guys, is one of the most ancient survival mechanisms that's woven into our genome. So you want to really change your life, start running. And I barefoot run. People don't believe me that I barefoot run through this gravel, even though I show it all the time on Instagram. So I guess I'm going to do a video, a full-length video of my entire runs. I can run for hours barefoot. I've been doing this for years, and there's a reason why I run barefoot. If you want to learn more about that, watch my videos here on YouTube about it. Shoed running is, it's not smart. And there's plenty of research to prove that. And I can't run in shoes. Otherwise, I get horrible, horrible pain, shin splints that last for hours, etc. The only way I can run in shoes is if I wear minimalist shoes or really thick socks, even though those don't really count as shoes. But I'm telling you guys, there's some weird energy out here. I met someone not that long ago from up the road that he told me that, hey man, I've seen you out walking around or running by yourself. He's like, you're gonna want to stop doing that. People go, they just vanish around here. And he told me some other sensitive info that I'm not going to talk about right now, but the threat of danger makes things more exciting, and it actually helps us grow, believe it or not. Stress helps us grow. So there should be some more berries up here, you guys. I'm loading up on as many of these as I can because these have been the most life-changing fruits I've ever eaten. These fresh-picked wild berries are increasing my strength and my mental fortitude 10 million-fold in in a way that can't be compared to any other fruit that I've ever gotten from the store or even grown. Wild food carries with it the telluric intelligence, the elemental strength of the land in which it grows. And these berries, they may just look like little purple bundles. These are raw, unadulterated power that hasn't been touched by man with his pesticides and his crap. So picking berries also, you guys, believe it or not, stimulates a part of our genome that's related to survival. I am 100,000% positive that there were periods where people, through this land harvested berries like I'm doing right now to stay alive. So let's see. We got some right here. Not many. I mentioned this in a recent video that these, have I been calling them blackberries? These are black raspberries. I thought they were blackberries, but I talked about in a recent video where I took you guys with me through this area that these black raspberries are ripening in stages, which is awesome. So you'll see here, there's some red. There's parts where the bushes are nothing but green. They're far from being, or they're going to take a while to ripen. And then there's spots, I like to call them honey holes, where there's just tons of ripe berries. So I can pick some, right? I pick the ripe ones, and then I remember where these other spots were like this one that I'm at right now. Most of these berries here are red. So I'll come back here over the next few days and pick as many as I can. So here's a spot where there's a few. I'm gonna stop, get there. It looks like there's only 10 to 20, but I'm gonna get them, these ripe ones, and I'll be back. All right, guys, quick message here. It's important that regardless of how good your diet is, that you keep a good B complex on hand, especially if you're active. A lot of the food out here, regardless of how well it's marketed as being the best and nutrient dense, you guys, it's nowhere near as good as it could be. And if you're very active, if you sweat a lot, if you're under stress, and we all are, emotional stress, environmental stress from toxicity, your body burns through its nutrient reserves, you guys, and the brain is under a massive assault. And the B vitamins are really crucial for cognitive health and performance, memory, fast reflexes, you name it. And my body, over the years, what I've found is that my body starts to give me clear and obvious signs when I need a supplemental B vitamin. So I woke up today, I've ran probably 6 hours in the past 4 days, and I've just been burning through a lot of my electrolytes, sweating a lot, just using a lot of energy. And I woke up this morning and I knew that I needed a B vitamin. I felt stiff, I felt stressed. I took that B vitamin, that B complex, and about 30 minutes later, I feel right back to normal. So we live in a synthetic control grid, an antichrist system, and they're pushing synthetics on us, you guys. In the food supply, we're being hit with smart dust and the aerosols. The degree of nanotech and all of the control is so much, it's beyond the average person's ability to even comprehend. So because we live in this artificial grid, you guys, well, in the fall from grace, we don't have Kundalini moving through us anymore. Because we're in this strange, temporary underworld scenario, we need to resort to synthetic supplementation from time to time, right? So I don't care if people have a problem with me saying this, supplements are crucial in today's world. So I would highly suggest everybody get a good quality B vitamin complex and just try taking one. There's a good chance that you're gonna feel a lot better. I personally only need one every 1 to 2 weeks. If I take them more than like 2 days in a row, they start to have a counterproductive effect on me. Your body will uptake these B vitamins very quickly, and some people's stress and anxiety and like the tension in their life is directly related to not just B vitamins, but things like mineral deficiencies, magnesium, iodine, etc. So iodine is something that I take every single day, as well as potassium, chloride, and magnesium, preferably magnesium glycinate, although I'm currently out of it and I just have citrate. Magnesium glycinate is the best magnesium, hands down. And if you're looking to, especially to like restore your magnesium reserves, citrate is okay, but it doesn't have the neurocognitive effects as glycinate. And magnesium L-threonate is probably the best magnesium if you're looking to take magnesium as a nootropic. So just a quick message here about the importance of supplementation and B vitamins. So right now I'm using a BioSchwartz B complex. I've got maybe 15 left, so once I'm out of those, I'll get another one. I typically get well-reviewed bee complexes on iHerb that are on sale. I had a really sketchy experience out here once, so I'm gonna make this one quick. Look at these idiots that just come out here and dump their trash like morons. Disgusting. But look at the size of this stone. I don't think that the camera's gonna do it justice. This thing goes around the side of the mountain. It is fucking massive. You should see what this looks like when it snows here. It gets covered in these like stalactite pieces of ice. Absolutely incredible. And there's actually some blackberries right here as well. I had no clue. And it looks like there's another bush. Okay, maybe we'll fill up really quick. Yep, I'm gonna make this quick, but look at that, guys. Pretty impressive, huh? So if you do manage to have access to a spot like this where you can grab fruit like this, if you find blackberries, when you go out and you're looking for the berries, I would suggest doing about 2 minutes of the thoughtlessness exercise prior. Slow your mind down and slow your internal dialogue down, because our perception has a tendency, due to our habituation, to scan over things. So what I'm noticing is that when I first got to this particular spot, all I saw for the most part was red berries. But I just got done doing some thoughtlessness exercises. And once I slowed my internal dialogue down, my perception started seeing all sorts of blackberries tucked in spots that my normal cognition scanned over. So you might walk past this and just glance at it, for instance, like I did earlier, and think, oh, it's just red berries. There's nothing ripe yet. But when I stopped, because I stopped over to the left of this to get some shade, I did some thoughtlessness exercises, and then all of a sudden, all this stuff started showing up. So our perception operates on a predetermined volition due to how it's trained. The thoughtlessness exercise slows that habituated consciousness down so that you can start taking in more data that your consciousness normally scans over.
I can't help but ask myself daily, what the fuck is actually going on here? I have witnessed so many radical changes to this world in the 32 years that I have been here, most of them sadly drenched in evil. The enemy is busy building its empire, a dystopia built upon the ashes of a free world forgotten. AI, surveilled, digitized, genocide, scorched earth, hive mind, drone. We are being led by demons, masquerading as our saviors. An iniquitous oligarchy composed largely, but not entirely, of an elite class of psychopathic technocrats, eugenicists, behavioral psychologists, etc. Operating entirely through subterfuge, this consortium of evil has created a most genius veil of camouflage, enabling them to quite literally pose as a knight in shining armor coalition of humanity's saviors, promising to liberate the masses from the very afflictions that this inner circle of evil gave birth to. Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.